It is being called one of the most powerful typhoons ever recorded. Super Typhoon Haiyan slammed into the Philippines Friday, and although there was plenty of warning, officials fear the worst. Winds exceeding 124 miles per hour and heavy rains triggered landslides, uprooted trees, and ripped off roofs across the central Philippines today. Typhoon Haiyan is believed to be the strongest ever to hit land, more powerful than a Category 5 hurricane.
The winds right now estimated at 195 miles per hour. To give you an idea of how strong that is, Katrina at its strongest winds are only 175 miles per hour. We're talking gusts right now over 200 miles per hour.
Haiyan is a massive 300 miles wide. That's about the distance from Boston to Philadelphia.
Along the path of this storm, you can expect complete devastation. It's going to act like a razor blade along the path of its eye.
More than 700,000 people were forced to evacuate, but officials say they still fear a massive loss of life and property. Due to cut-off communication, it's still impossible to know the extent of casualties and damage. One official told the Associated Press by phone, quote, "When you're faced with such a scenario, you can only pray and pray and pray." Forecasters say Typhoon Haiyan is passing out of the Philippines and moving into the South China Sea on Saturday, heading towards Vietnam. They say one positive aspect of this storm is that it's moving so fast that flooding from heavy rains may not be as bad.
Our Asia correspondent Lucille Toluson joins us now in Manila by way of Skype. The eye of the storm passed south of the Philippines capital. Lucille, what can you tell us about the storm's impact on the Philippines?
Yes, well, right now here in Metro Manila, we are experiencing heavy rainfall and also gusty winds. But Typhoon Yolanda, that's how we call it here in the Philippines, made 5 landfalls in several island provinces in central Philippines, which is the island of Visayas. And right now there are power outages in the whole island. It's out of power there, and communication is disrupted as a result. There's been a lot of damages to the houses, and the Filipinos there were really terrified of the very strong winds that hit the area in the Visayas.
Wow, understandably. CBN Disaster Relief has a strong presence in the Philippines. How are they preparing to help the victims?
The teams are just waiting for to be deployed right now because of very poor communication. They cannot identify yet which areas to go to, as you have reported. It's very wide. The scope of the typhoon is very wide, and but I was talking to Dr. Kim Pascual, who heads the CBN Disaster Relief here in the Philippines, and she said that the teams are already preparing, and of course we are going to distribute relief goods such as mats, blankets, and tents. Indeed. And also food and water. You know, Ephraim, CBN, the disaster relief teams have been very busy for the past 5 months. Absolutely. You know, we've been hit with storms, monsoon rains, the earthquake, the war. Absolutely. And right now, CBN is still there in Zamboanga helping with the livelihood of the victims of the war. They're now in Bohol. All right. The Bohol was the one that was struck by the earthquake, feeding all right, Lucille, the thank victims you. Of the typhoon.
Thank you so much. We're out of time, but thank you so much. We will continue to pray for the area.